Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about law of constant proportions. In the name itself there, law of constant proportion, and before going to this we need to aware of the law of conservation of mass. What does it mean by law of conservation of mass and who proposed the things? That is, law of conservation of mass tells us mass neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction, and it was proposed by a person called Lavoisier, right? So let us say now here, law of constant proportion. Constant means fixed, proportion means ratio, simple. So like law of constant proportion, what it tells, that is, it was proposed by, first of all, it was proposed by a fellow called Joseph L. Proust. Joseph.L.Proust, right? So this law was proposed by a person called Joseph L. Proust, and it tells us that a given chemical substance, always contains the same elements combined in a fixed proportions of mass. That is, in a chemical combination, that is in a chemical substance, all the elements, they always combine in a fixed proportion by mass. Suppose if you have taken water molecule, suppose you assume that the water molecule you have taken from in our city, like bore water you are taking or tap water you are taking, or you are going to somewhere else like any other place if you are going, and some the water you are taking from any like ocean you are taking, any river you are taking, water molecule we need to take, right? So the water molecule wherever you are taking, it always consists of two hydrogens and one oxygen, right? So the two hydrogens mass is 2 units and one oxygen mass is 16 units. So that if you take it as 2:16 ratio, if you can make it simplify, we can write it as 1:8 ratio. That is, in the water molecule, the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen is always 1:8 by mass. I am not saying about the number of atoms, I am saying about the mass. That is, remember carefully, in the water molecule always the hydrogen, oxygen, they combine in the ratio of 1:8 by mass, right? So that is, wherever the compound you take in the atmosphere, water vapor you take, moisture you take, any water you take, always consists of same amount of substance, like 1:8 by mass, hydrogen and oxygen. If you write oxygen and hydrogen, let's flip it, 8:1, right? So that thing is what? Law of constant proportion. Always constant proportion is there. The mass is always constant, the ratio is constant, 1:8 by mass for water molecule. If you take other substance, it will be changes, right? So that is, in a given chemical substance, always the elements contained are combined in a fixed proportions by mass. That we call as law of constant proportions, and it was given by a person called Joseph Proust, and he has observed that copper carbonate substance, a compound he has taken from laboratory prepared compound and naturally available compound he has taken. He observed that copper and carbon and oxygen by mass, he has observed that is, copper is of 51.35 and carbon is of 38.91 and oxygen is of 9.74. like these masses are there. When he observed the naturally occurring compound and laboratorically prepared compound, he observed that both compounds are having the same amount of masses. That he concluded that wherever the compound you take, the elements which are present in the compound, they always combine in a fixed proportion of ratio by mass. So that was given by a person called Joseph Proust, and we call it as law of constant proportion, right? So that law of conservation mass and law of constant proportion, these two laws we commonly call as law of chemical combinations, right?